Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam. We are back, and unfortunately, Manchester United have been beaten 4-2 by Liverpool at Old Trafford. A defeat for Manchester United, which obviously doesn't impact our league campaign too much, but it's a defeat that is really disappointing. We had a massive opportunity today to cause Liverpool an upset, means that they would most likely miss out on Champions League football, and we failed to turn up. In a home game against Liverpool, any Manchester United side should be turning up, whether it means something or not in terms of the league campaign. And it was massively disappointing to see Manchester United perform as they did. So many individual mistakes, so many poor performances from different players. You can talk about fatigue, you can talk about fixture pileup, you can talk about this, you can talk about that. But ultimately, it wasn't good enough for Manchester United. And with the European final on the horizon, yes, it could have been part of the reason why. Maybe they had one eye on that. With the European final on the horizon, though, we need to improve and we need to perform better and we need to cut out the silly mistakes. And we need to make sure that if we're without Harry Maguire, that we're performing properly in that defence. So we'll be talking about all those things today in the aftermath, here on Adam McKola TV, as Manchester United lost 4-2 against Liverpool. Remember, we're sponsored by La Bombe as well. The link is in the description below if you want to download the app. I'll tell you a little bit more about the app later on today. Remember, you have to be over 18. T's and C's apply, and play responsibly as well. I've been playing with the lads on La Bombe and I've won the last couple of weeks as well. Obviously, United letting me down this week, but I've beaten the lads the last 2 weeks. What it is, it's a game where you predict the results of the game. You and your mates put in however much you want, a fiver, a tenner, or whatever it is. You put it into the pot. Whoever wins takes it home. And the last 2 weeks, I've taken it home. Taken Rory's money, Boovy's money, Harry's money, Elliot's money, all of their money. So if you want to do that to your friends, the link's in the description below. Remember, you have to be over 18. T's and C's apply. But let's get back to this review and reaction and all that stuff. Poor stuff from Manchester United. And I wasn't with the lads today. I wasn't on the watch along, so I was able to just sit there and watch the game. And when you're not on the watch along and you're able to just, you're not part of a discussion, you see more of the game and you feel more of the game. Obviously, you still watch it when you're on a watch along, but I was watching more of it, and it really frustrated me more as well because I was so into the game. When we started off, it was pretty much even. Pogba and Bruno looked fairly bright. They were knocking the ball out quite well. There was a bit of sloppiness from Alisson at the back, which gave Cavani a chance. Probably should have scored, should have done better with it. He didn't. Then we get the ball down the right-hand side. Paul Pogba with a great pass out to the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka links up with Bruno. Bruno has a shot, clips it with the side of his foot, and it's bending. It looks like it's bending in and just clipping the post and going in, or hitting the post and coming out. But either way, it was going towards the goal. And Phillips puts his foot out, deflects it in. The goal's been given to Bruno Fernandes, and I think that's right because it was going on target. So Manchester United made an excellent start, 1-0 up. We've had that mistake from Alisson at the back. They're looking a little bit shaky. But then we allowed them back into the game and we sat off them. Now, Eric Bailly, who I thought the first 10-15 minutes, he won his aerial battles, he won his aerial duels. He looked okay. He goes in for a challenge. He wins the ball fairly, in my opinion. I was sat there watching the game, going, great tackle. Won the ball. Referee points to the spot. You're thinking, what the hell is going on? VAR rightly turned it over. But we didn't, take the warning signs. We didn't settle down. And everything got quite erratic. And it's probably a great shout towards, what Harry Maguire brings to the team in terms of his leadership, in terms of his organisation. Because we were all over the place. We can get by, I think, with Lindelof alongside Maguire. Bailly alongside Maguire. But Bailly and Lindelof don't work. Big fan of Bailly. I don't think he was necessarily the issue today, but he wasn't leading that defence. And Lindelof the same. Not good enough. Didn't spread any positivity throughout the team. Now, it's the first game back, and for both of them to be playing together in a while, and they had a poor midfield in front of them, and they had a shaky goalkeeper behind them, and that doesn't help. But maybe it was their shakiness that led to the goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? It can be a vice versa kind of thing. So I thought it was a performance that, as a unit, was shocking. Luke Shaw was poor. You know, I thought Wan-Bissaka was the only one that could probably come out of it with any credit today. Because I thought he worked really hard. He made some crucial tackles. He made some crucial blocks. There was one point when he looked to be injured but carried on going. And he looked really good, Aaron Wan-Bissaka at times. So I don't think you could blame him. And he was involved with the goal as well. But Dean Henderson, poor. Error with the punch. Falls in the box. United don't clear. Nat Phillips takes the ball away from goal and manages to direct it back towards the goal. And Jota gets a clever finish in. But it was poor stuff. What's Dean Henderson doing? Coming out. If you come out, you've got to make sure you get the right connection on the ball. It's a mistake. You know, okay, you could argue then United had an opportunity to clear the ball. We didn't. But it's 1-1 and Liverpool have got a goal and they're back in the game. And then just before half-time, Firmino scores. A good free kick, a good delivery. But Pogba, poor on the back post. Never quite got himself set. Never quite got himself in front of Firmino. And Firmino had an easy header into the back of the net. You could argue, should Dean Henderson be covering that post? But in that instance, I'd imagine that would be a little bit harsh. Because Pogba should have had the man. He should have had him. You know, he's a big lad, physical lad. Get in front of him and Firmino ain't beating you. You don't let him win that ball. But unfortunately he did. And then Liverpool go into it 2-1 up. You know, the game's just swung around completely from United starting off well. Alisson looking shaky. United getting a goal. It's now 2-1 to Liverpool and we've given them an opportunity into the game. And we got sloppy. We got poor in possession. You know, Fred, McTominay. Again, I've continuously said it. They can have decent games here and there. You know, I think on their own, they're probably okay squad players, decent squad players. But not good enough. And they're not good enough to sit in front of that defence for Manchester United. If Manchester United want to be winning things, they're not good enough. And they weren't press resistant today. Liverpool found it way too easy to press us. That, especially at the start of the second half. They just pressed us. And we had a good start to the game. But it was almost like we thought, well, these ain't going to recover now. They're not their best this season. But Liverpool needed this more than us. We've got Champions League football in the bag. We've got a European final to look forward to. The league title's over. So you can understand they've got more, you know, more reason to go for it. It's a Manchester United-Liverpool game. You have to be on it. And I think we did miss Harry Maguire today, but that's no excuse for the performances we saw. And that's no excuse for what we saw in front of them. And that's back-to-back defeats at Old Trafford. You can look at our away form, and as long as we don't lose against Wolves, we've gone unbeaten away from home all season in the Premier League, and that's a fantastic record. But home form's let us down massively this season from being serious title challengers. You can't call it a title challenge if you're out by whenever it was. And then it was 3-1 Liverpool just after half time. As I said, they were pressing us well, but there was no excuse for Fred's poor pass to Luke Shaw. You know, it's short. Luke Shaw didn't have the best of games either, but Fred, hospital ball. And then Henderson with another mistake from the shot, flaps at it. And Firmino's got a tap in. 3-1 to Liverpool. Early on in the game, when you're looking, should be going out there to get an equaliser and pin them on the back foot. We came out and just handed them a goal. And Fred ain't it. He's not good enough. He'll have one good game against City every season away from home, but he's not good enough. Poor in possession. Poor against the press. It's just not good enough. £52 million. Brazilian. He's not Brazilian. He's just not. And we couldn't deal with the press all day. And to be fair to Ollie, he made a sub, Greenwood for Fred. Probably came a little bit too late in my opinion. He probably came a little bit too late. I'll be reading out super chats and comments and everything shortly. So bear with me. I just want to go through all this first and then we'll open it up to questions and all that. And when Ollie made the sub, brought on Greenwood for Fred, I thought it was a very, very good substitution. Too late though. And Greenwood come on and kind of changed the game. Pogba dropped deep. I don't think his game improved massively, but the team performance improved massively. We get a goal. Bruno, Cavani, Rashford with a good finish. And that's his 50th goal at Old Trafford. And he had an opportunity to score another one towards the end of the game, which was a similar opportunity, which he should have finished and didn't. But again, Rashford today, another one of those players that wasn't good enough in my opinion. And playing out on the right, it's not his best position. He had his best moments out on the left for Man United today. And when we changed it around and brought Greenwood in and Fred off. And, Cavani, I felt sorry for him. A lot of work, but not a lot to look for. There was one instance after the goal when we went 3-2 and we got one back into it where United improved and Greenwood had one cleared off the line. Cavani pulled it back for him and it just wouldn't fall for us. And that was the moment then. I think if we score there and we go 3-3, Liverpool need to score. Manchester United probably run out 4-3 winners of that game. But it was good blocking by Liverpool. I think Phillips blocked one off the line from Mason Greenwood. And after that, we never really threatened, to be totally honest with you. We never really threatened until after Liverpool went 4-2 up. And that come from Bailly went off. I imagine it could be fatigue. I don't know if he's injured. I hope not. But he's obviously played 2 games in 2 days, I think it is. So it's understandable if he's gone off because of that. But instead of bringing Axel on, we put McTominay at centre-back. And he just left us exposed. Now, we're always going to be exposed trying to go and get an equaliser against Liverpool later on. But we were really exposed then when you put a midfielder there. And he got a chance one-on-one. Look, you expect Salah to put it away anyway. But Henderson's positioning was awful. And I'm not going to blame him for that goal because one-on-one against Salah, the likelihood is he scores. But you've got to make it more difficult for him. Your angles were all wrong. Your positioning was all wrong. You'd almost drifted out of the goal for him. It was bizarre goalkeeping. And look, I think Henderson's got a fantastic future ahead of him. And he's got great potential. But I've said it before. We can't be rushing to make him number 1 goalkeeper at Man United. Next season, if he was number 1, how does he react to a mistake? With full crowds? Going away from home? Playing at Old Trafford in front of... Like, as Manchester United's number 1, when De Gea's not there, there's no safety net no more. It's a very different prospect. And for that reason, you've got to keep De Gea as your number 1 next season. And Dean Henderson's still challenging him. And I think Dean Henderson, this isn't the first time he's made a mistake this season. Look, he's also had good games this season. And he's a good goalkeeper. It's not what I'm saying. But it's too soon. We can't be rushing into this decision because we think, he's going to leave or he's going to... No. We have to look after ourselves. And at the moment, we're going into next season. We need to improve in midfield. We need to improve at right wing. We need to improve at, centre-back. Do we want to be starting to cause problems at goalkeeper? Going in with De Gea and Dean Henderson, still very good, you know what I mean? But if we let De Gea go, we have to replace him with an equal or better goalkeeper. Because we can't be going into the season with Dean Henderson as our number 1 next season. He'll be our number 1 in the future, cool. He's got great potential, cool. But he's not ready yet to be our number 1 in my opinion. And I've been consistent on that. That isn't based off today's result or performance. And he wasn't the worst today. Fred was abysmal. McTominay was poor. Pogba was poor. Shaw was poor. The defenders were poor. I thought Bruno was frustrating at times, but probably one of our better players again. Greenwood was good when he came on. Rashford was poor, but got a good goal and improved in the second half. Cavani, industrious, worked hard, running all over the place, chucking in some challenges. We didn't create nothing for him, though. And overall, it wasn't good enough from Man United today. And we deserved to lose. And that's exactly what we got. And it's disappointing because we could have put a spanner in their works for Champions League football and this, that and the other. And quite frankly, we blown it. So, really disappointed with United's performance today. Obviously, you could say it's fatigue. You could say they've got one eye on the final. We missed Maguire. Cool. But we had enough out there to win this game. We had enough out there to get more than what we did. We had the chances today as well. Just wasn't good enough. And Liverpool deserved the win, to be fair to him. And now they've got, I think because Chelsea play Leicester and the fixtures that they've got, they'll probably get top 4. And that's only ourselves to blame. Poor game today for United. And we need to improve going forward. Right, let me have a look at some of these super chats then. For some reason, they've not come up in that box there with the... And they've all disappeared off here. Let me see if I can find them. Apologies, guys. Or if you sent a super chat, just send it in as a comment and I'll read it out anyway. Bear with me. Because they usually come in my creator studio in a little box called viewer activity, but they're not there right now, which is weird because they should be. So yeah, bear with us and I'll try and find them ASAP. Thank you for joining us today. Get your thoughts in the comments below as well. Let us know your thoughts on everything we have discussed today. Make sure you're keeping it locked to AdamMcKola TV. And yeah, proper gutting performance today, innit? Shit from United. Oh man, all them super chats have disappeared for me, guys. I know where to find them, actually. Don't you worry. I know where to find them. So yeah, I'll find them now. But keep your thoughts coming in. I'm going to get some quotes up from Ole Gunnar Solskjær as well. So we'll head over to United Report. Shout out United Report. And I should have those super chats for you right now. Right, here we go. I've got them. So, we had one which was blank from Rohan Singh. Thank you very much. Dec Roberts says, Oli criticises the Premier League but for not protecting players. But he's been playing players through injury and makes late subs. It's a bit hypocritical. That was from Dec Roberts. Thank you for your super chat. Shamim also brought in a super chat and says Marcus Rashford last all-round solid game was 24th of Jan, FA Cup versus Liverpool. It's a joke. Sancho, Mason will outperform him. Then what happens? Whilst I think it's a fair point, I think the games where he's been truly outstanding this season have been few and far between. And you could argue his performance levels last season were better. But he's contributing massively with goals and assists. And yet again today, he gets a goal. And you can say he's playing badly or his performances aren't quite there or this, that and the other. But he's delivering with goals and assists. And you can't knock that. He's on course to beat his goal scoring season from last season, which was his best ever season last season. He's been played out on the right, which I don't think is his best position at times. He's been played with injury yet again. 21 goals he's got this season. 22 he had last season. He's played 11 more games so far this season. All right, fair enough. But I don't think you can knock his... When he's delivering with the goals and assists, I don't think you can criticise him that much. If he wasn't, then all right, maybe you could have a fair point to do that. But I think it's a little bit unfair when he's delivering with goals and assists. Craig says, not that bothered about the loss, more annoyed about the performance. We'll bounce back though, we always do. Keep up the content, Adam. Thank you, Craig, for getting involved. I'm not overly concerned in terms of a long-term thing, but I am disappointed, frustrated, pissed off about the result and the performance. It has to be that way when you lose against Liverpool. Jerome says, I fucking hate Liverpool. Hassan says, what makes you think Henderson has great potential? I haven't seen it at all. He has got good distribution. He does make good saves at times. He does command his area quite well. He had a very, very solid season for Sheffield United in the Premier League when they finished in their highest ever position. Look what happened to them when he left. His clean sheets that season were phenomenal, considering how worked he was. Now his position at United is a little bit different, considering we command possession and all those kind of things. But I still think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think it'd be going too far the other way to say he's not good enough. You can say, all right, maybe he's not quite ready yet or whatever, but I don't think it's fair to say he's not good enough. I don't think that's fair at all. Get hitting that like button, guys. Get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. Disappointing day for Manchester United today. A 4-2 defeat against Liverpool. Massively disappointing. Doesn't affect us in terms of the league too much. We should be still finishing second with fixtures against Fulham and Wolves coming up. But we could have stopped them from getting Champions League football, which would have been nice. Yeah, get hitting that like button, guys. Does anyone know if Eric got injured? I'm not sure on that one. I assume it was more to do with him playing so much games. So let's have a look at Ole Gunnar Solskjær's comments. Thanks to United Report for putting these together and compiling them. He obviously spoke to Sky, not United Report, but they've done the quotes. And they've done a typo, which they've put Liverpool in there as well, which is funny. They've gone Solskjær. They deserved the win. We conceded goals in key moments of the game. We didn't build on the momentum or break up theirs. We gave them at least 2 goals, really. Then we scored again, had a massive chance, and key moments went against us. I do think if that Greenwood chance goes in, we probably win the game, but we didn't deserve the win today. Solskjær says their shape and their pressing is very aggressive. We created our own downfall. Like I said, we weren't press resistant at all. The second goal, you probably expect no foul there. Then it's a bad moment to concede just before half-time. The third goal we gave them, and that's really poor. He said, Harry has been really important for us, so of course we're going to miss him, but he's out, so we have to deal with that. It's about regrouping and building our own confidence again as we have 2 games and a final. The attitude was right and the focus was fine and we're ready for it. We didn't build on the good times. We should have gone more for it at the start of the game. Sometimes we let them off the hook and let them play out. Hopefully when we let the fans in on Tuesday, it's a good atmosphere. We have waited a long time to let them in, so we're looking forward to enjoying the game together. Of course, pre-match disruption. Of course, it disrupted us a little bit, so it's not been ideal, but we had to deal with it. When you start the second half with a goal after 70 or 80 seconds, it's going to be hard, and we let them off the hook. It's part of the learning for this team. We should have capitalised when they struggled. Everyone would miss their captain and leader. Harry has been amazing since he came to this club. We will miss a player of that quality, but we have players that are ready to step in. Once we were in the stadium, it was all focused on the game. It's a different preparation coming in at noon for a 8:15 kickoff. It's a long time to be here, but I thought the boys managed it well. And I think that might have, made it a little bit weird for the players today. But again, we can't use that as an excuse, can we? It's just not on. I am better than Fred Matthew. Rohan says Liverpool have played 2 games in 19 days, should be considered. But also playing 2 games in 19 days could mean that you're not quite up to it. You're a little bit rusty and all that. So I don't think Klopp would want his team to have 2 games in 19 days. But he wouldn't want them to have 4 games in 7 days either. There's a fine balance in there somewhere that needs to be found. Yoni Marlowe with the super chat says, I don't take this tired argument. 6 of our starting 11 didn't feature against Leicester. Ollie playing McFred and subbing on Matic was a joke, says Yoni. And I agree as well. You can't use that as an excuse in this instance. So yeah, bang on. Mark says we were shocking tonight. Issues everywhere. Bailly and Lindelof were off the pace, and Henderson in net. Positioning is terrible. I agree. For that goal for Salah, what was he thinking? What was he thinking? I really, really don't know. Real poor stuff. But yeah, guys, get hitting that subscribe button, get liking, get commenting, get sharing. We'll keep this show rolling on for another 5 or so minutes. So if you've got any questions or anything you want to get through, get them in. Chris says we were pish. Fred and Shaw, what was that about? I think I can excuse Shaw. I know, I'm not against Liverpool, but Shaw's been very good this season. Fred's consistently poor. D with the Palestine flag, yes, shout out you, mate. Free Palestine each and every time. Matthew Doyle says Matic came on and gave the ball away with every touch. Yeah, he gave the ball away for Salah's goal, didn't he? Which was fucking frustrating. Fergie was fuming, says Chris, as you'd expect. Rashford hasn't been his best. Greenwood is better, says someone in there. I think Greenwood's a fantastic finisher, and I think he takes that Rashford opportunity towards the end. But I also think Rashford's a fantastic player. No passion, not good enough. Midfield upgrade ASAP, says David. Yes, we need to upgrade our midfield. And look, it's massively disappointing. Excuse me. It's massively disappointing for Manchester United to lose this game. It's massively disappointing for us to perform like that. There were some real key performances that went wrong. Fred and McTominay, not good enough. Fred has shown countless occasions that he's not good enough. We need to get a new number 6 in that position. That's for sure. And the goalkeeper, questions could be asked there. Is he the goalkeeper to be number one next season? I don't think so. I don't think you should be rushing De Gea out of the door. I do think Dean Henderson's got a great future, but let's relax for now. We miss Harry Maguire, that's clear. And some players had a bad game. Shaw, Pogba. They've been excellent recently. They had a bad game today. But we can't go over the top. I still think it's been a good season. You end the season well. Beat Fulham Wolves. You win the cup. Happy days. But it showed where we can improve and where we need to improve in this team today. And that number 6 position is one of them. On Sky, they were talking about we need a new striker, this, that and the other. And number 6 is one of the most important positions in football. And we need a new one. In that DM position, we need one. And we need a right winger. Get those 2 positions sorted. Maybe a centre-half too. And who knows, maybe we can win the league or challenge for it. But until we get those positions resolved, I don't think so. And if we go into next season with Dean Henderson as our number 1, I don't think so either. So we need to make sure we get those decisions right in the summer. It's a big summer ahead. But as I said, we've shown signs of improvement. Yesterday was disappointing. But let's not go over the top. Let's not get carried away. Let's not be irrational. But some signs are there and we're clear that some players need to be improved upon in the summer. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you keep it locked. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Remember, download La Bomb as well. 18 plus, T's and C's apply. Play responsibly. We'll be having another weekend of myself, Rory, Boovy, Elliot and Harry going head to head as well to take the pot home. Can I make it 3 wins on the spin? Let us know how you guys get on as well if you play with your mates over the weekend. Keep an eye on our socials for all that. Thanks to La Bomb again. I've been Adam McKola. United have lost, unfortunately, against Liverpool. But fingers crossed we can end the season well with that second spot and a trophy too. See you in a bit.